Hello once again, everyone from coast to coast. This is Simeon Papailias with Broker's Playbook. Today, I have the pleasure and honor of having Kate Broddick on the show. Kate is a powerhouse agent in Brantford, Ontario, out of Revel Realty. She runs a team of just about 15 agents and 5 support staff. And she does a volume of over 300 to 400 transactions year after year with consistency and with a huge commitment to the community and the fabric of what makes that whole part of Ontario what it is today, which is one of the best, voted one of the greatest places to live and raise a family in Ontario, which is that Hamilton West, Brantford area. It is affordable, it is young and dynamic, and it's evolving every day. Take a listen to what Kate Broddick has to share from her insights and her experience working within that market. Welcome everybody to Broker's Playbook. I am sitting today with Kate Broddick out of Brantford, Ontario. She works with Revel Realty, and she has her own team, and she's been servicing that community for years. She transacts 300 to 400 transactions a year. She helps clients with her life. She helps the community overall with her events. And I'm going to be trying to extract out of her today all that makes her the unique value proposition she has become. The reason she has been successful for this long is because of what she puts into the community every day. And I hope that you can take what she has to offer, her insight, and put it into your communities, creating a better value proposition and a stable business for yourself. Kate, welcome to the show.
Thank you. What a great intro.
I mean, it's true. So
Yeah.
it's great because what you're doing is great, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I wanted to have you on here to share what you do every day.
Yeah. And what you're doing as well, what we're doing.
God bless you. Thank you.
Yeah. So, I'm one of the things that I love about our business, and it is a beautiful business, is that we are able to get out there and help our community. And when people say, community oriented, it's like, well, what are you really doing? Because it's really not just about sponsoring, it's about showing up and giving time,
For sure.
right? Being a part of it. So I'm excited to talk to you about that today.
So I have grown my entire business based on community events, and educational events, but events in general. I believe very much in grabbing people's attention by giving them something of value.
Yeah.
Above and beyond that, there's the other component of community, which is giving to those who don't have.
Yes.
Both are equivalently as powerful. One is where your business can come from tomorrow, or today for that matter, in educational events, but fostering and nurturing the community that you live in. Remember,
Yes.
we're raising our kids. You have 3 boys.
Yes.
This is somewhere where you are living as part of the fabric of this community. And by giving to those who don't have, helping those who are in need, and actually being there, showing up and inspiring others to do the same makes a big difference to your business tomorrow.
100%. And it's also creating that community awareness in the place that you're raising your families. And speaking to that, it's also about once again what you said is helping those in need. And if there was ever a time that people were in need, it's now, right? And we're always talking about the real estate market because it's obviously what we're involved in. We're talking about, how there's that fear mongering, that fear to purchase, or that the seller hesitation, or, pricing adjustments, or transactions falling through. We were just talking about that downstairs. But, there's an even bigger problem that's happening right now, and that's people not being able to afford to live, people having an extreme hardship in our communities that we're servicing. And having a community awareness is understanding that there is more than just people buying and selling homes. It's people losing homes. It's people not being able to afford putting food on the table. There's some big issues in our communities right now. And I think this is now the time we need to step up.
I couldn't agree with you more. And I shot a show last week with Kaylee Heaps out of Toronto, Ontario. She's a massive agent serving one of the most affluent communities in Toronto. And there is no community that hasn't been hit by this.
Yep.
Affluent neighborhoods, poor neighborhoods, middle-class neighborhoods, everybody feels this economy's cycle in one way or another.
I agree.
Some people have bigger problems than others.
Yep.
Some people have desperate problems. What she said to me last week was her listening has changed, and her leadership is now focused 100% around empathy.
I love that.
You are saying the exact same thing. When did you turn your focus, or maybe it's always been this way for you, but when did you shift your resources and your focus to being there for the community from because we're going to talk about some of the events you're doing.
Yep.
And that's actual food drives for food banks that have lineups around the corner.
Yes.
So there's some serious stuff happening. But when did you turn your focus because we are, the big teams in real estate are community leaders.
Yes.
We have to be. You're an ambassador for, in my opinion, for Brantford real estate.
Yep.
When did you turn your focus to pay attention to what's happening on the ground at that granular level?
So one of the things, we've always been involved in community events, sponsoring different organizations, not-for-profits. The Brantford Hospital, we outfitted separate rooms for our little infant patients so they wouldn't have to go to MAC. So we've always been driven towards the community, but there was a definite pivot, and I'm glad you asked that. When we had our sales meeting last month, and something hit me when we started getting phone calls of people saying that they were going to lose their homes. And I have never been in a market where I've had this level of people calling. And to be fair, there was a phone call that I received where for the first 5 minutes, I couldn't make out the lady's name because she was in such hysterics that she was going to have her home repossessed by the bank because she could no longer make the payments with the shift in interest rate when she went to renew. And when we sat down and talked about our sales meeting, we actually shifted the conversation to what can we do more of? Not more sales, not more marketing, but more community. And we all came to the table and decided that it was now our time to shift our empathy to people who are struggling to put food on the table, struggling to buy winter jackets for their kids. I have 3 boys, right? This is a real thing in our schools. Struggling to, even for holidays, like, Christmas coming up, having turkey, having your traditional family meal that you almost take for granted because you think that everybody is going to have that. And the simple fact of the matter is being a leader in your community doesn't mean that, you have to step up and put money out there for everything, right? Everyone right now has to make sure that their finances are in order. But it means giving your time and actively engaging in the community to be able to show up for it when it needs you the most. And so one of the things that we are doing is we've partnered with the Brantford Food Bank. And instead of just putting bins in our lobby of our offices, we're actually creating community awareness by getting people to put food out on their doorstep so that we can collect it for them to remove the hassle and the barrier of collecting for those in need. So we've shifted our focus to be more present for people because people have been present for us. I mean, think about it. How many of the community have shown up for you in your business? A lot, right? That's why you're as successful as you are.
Hundreds, thousands.
That's right.
So,
and I feel the same.
I love what you're saying, and I'm going to bring yet another example. Yesterday, I was at my office at Don Mills location, our headquarters, Toronto East. My business partner was speaking with an agent talking about coaching program. Yeah. And I couldn't hear the other agent, but I know what the conversation was because I could hear my partner. And my partner says at one point, this is not the year that you are going to grow your transaction count. This is the year that you're going to solidify to your client base why you're there, and you're going to survive. You need to survive this year. Yeah. Because the transactions we know as a factor of 50% down because people cannot transact.
That's right.
Either they can't sell because they can't requalify, or they can't buy because they can't afford the rate.
Yeah.
So either way, transactions are cut in half. So the truth of the matter is you're not growing this year.
No.
But you can sustain your market share by being a leader.
Yes.
So even if there's 50% less transactions, you can still be at the top 10%, 5%, 1% if you do the right things. And that is checking in with your clients. How are you? Are you experiencing stress? Is there anything I can say to you about what's happening that can help you sleep better at night? Is there somebody I can introduce to your life? A financial advisor, a consolidation, a this, a that, the other. What can I do to reduce the anxiety in your life? Because people will never forget that phone call.
No, they won't.
You are blanketing the neighborhoods that you are involved in with flyers for your food drives.
Yes.
You're asking people to contribute what they can by putting bins that you will go and pick up.
Yeah. So essentially, our agents are targeting, just to make it so that it's not overwhelming. Each agent is targeting a neighborhood within the community, flyering, like putting door knockers and saying, Saturday between 11:30 and 12:30, if you'd like to make a donation that you're able to make for the Brantford Food Bank, I will be by to pick it up. So that way we're not asking people to, they can drive to our office. Obviously, we're putting that out on social media as well, but we're trying to take away the barrier of time and energy to be able to service our community better and saying, you know what, we're going to do the legwork for you. If you can put a small donation of non-perishable food out on your doorstep, we will be by at this time in order to get it, and we will personally drop it off on your behalf.
For me, this is one of the core teachings. I have a real estate training program. This specific, what you're doing is actually covered in my door knocking and geofarming part of the course. Which is why I was laughing when you said downstairs. I just looked at Bobby. I said, I actually teach this very thing to new agents, not understanding like how do you gain market share?
Yeah.
And you do it. You don't do it by, saying, "Hi, I'm an agent. Do you know anybody who wants to buy real estate?" Because no, can you leave my house? It's
Yeah,
a little
please.
weird. Why are you here? But it's by giving to the neighborhood first.
Yes.
So if you expect, we're in the service business and we are not on salaries. So we need, in order for us to eat, we need to kill. So if we eat what we kill, and what we're trying to kill is the community loyalty to us.
Yeah.
What do you give the community first?
That's right.
I know after this many years in business, I know you are extremely successful and blessed. So I'm not saying it for you. I'm saying this for new agents. Even if you, new agent, are selfish and not in a position to think community overall, you need to pretend that you are selfless.
That's right.
Because you, Kate, are selfless. You're doing it. You're already in there. They're already your clients. But for a new agent to break in, they have to be kinder, better, faster, in order to succeed in gaining the hearts and minds of a community.
And that takes action. And I think that's what a lot of new agents need to really straighten up and get right. We're not in this, people who have been in this business for 10 plus years and have had the level of success that you've had. It's not because you sat in front of a computer all day and filmed video and was a content creator. You got out boots on the ground running.
We still do.
And so do I. Exactly. Yes. But you're doing it the right way. Whereas people coming into this business to think that it's something that's easy, it's not. People have to recognize you as someone who is genuine, empathetic, who works hard, who cares, right?
The true care.
The true care.
Because people are not going to buy smoke and mirrors. That may have been the case in the 70s and 80s.
Not now.
Maybe the 90s. But I can assure you that people are extremely savvy. People are educated 10 times more than they used to be. Yeah. And in many cases know more about their neighborhoods than you do. People know. People have sources.
Yes.
The internet is a crazy thing.
Yeah.
So you need to bring your A game, but people are not going to buy smoke and mirrors.
No, they're not. And let me ask you a question, because this was asked to me and I loved this question. In today's market, and everyone's on social media, right? You're on social media and you see the agent posting videos of them in their $150,000 car racing down the street, going off to this luxury party, or you see the agent who's out with their kids knocking on doors for food bank items, who are you going to hire?
There is absolutely no doubt about who
There's
I
no
would
question in
hire.
my mind either.
There is no question. And this also comes, again, to quote the great Kaylee Heaps, who I had the pleasure of interviewing, awareness.
Yeah.
She is acutely aware. The people who are at the top leading the game, the reason you're here to share your insight is because you are acutely aware of what is happening in your town on the street.
Yeah.
For you to walk up with red bottom shoes to pick up food for a food bank would be highly inappropriate.
Absolutely.
So knowing what the right thing to do is and when is another art in itself.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your advice is to your agents handling these people both in crisis or extremely uncomfortable right now. How are they speaking to them? What exercise are you going through to help prepare the ground?
There's a really simple quote, and I love this quote, is God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen more, speak less. People need to be heard right now. They need they need someone else to understand what their why is, what their goal is, what their situation is. And you said it best just a few minutes ago. People need to get through this time, and we need to be the liaison to help get them there, whether that be 3 months, 6 months, a year, helping them with not financial planning, but giving them the context in order to maybe get someone to help them, even if it means just like leveraging what they have in order to, put food on the table. Maybe it's speaking to refinance their mortgages, and maybe a sale is the best option for them, not for you, but for them in order to get them out of this time period. But it's listening. It's not talking them into the transaction. It's not trying to get another listing. It's not trying to make someone purchase. I just had a call on the way up here today. Really good client of mine. And she said, you know what, Kate, like right now they're stressing us at 8.8% interest. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. I mean, and you got to remember, this is at a time where she bought for 2.8%. So that's 6% on top, right? And I said, you know what? You don't need to tell me in a way that's makes me feel like I'm going to lose a transaction. If this does not suit your family's needs, you need to protect your own front door step now. This is for you. This is not for me. Because you know what? I know in my mind that when I'm helping people genuinely in their best interest, I will never lose that client.
And I've told my clients 1,000 times, whether you buy this year, next year, the year after, I know that I'm your agent. If I felt any way about it, I would say so.
Yes.
This is your move. The consequences of your decision are yours.
Yes.
They're not mine. So I can never tell you do this now or don't do this now.
That's
what are
right.
you comfortable with?
That's exactly right. And that's exactly what I said. At the end of the day, you've got to protect your own front doorstep, and I've got to support you in any decision that you've made. And that's basically what we're saying to our agents right now is we have to ride this wave. And I loved what you said. This isn't a record year. This is a survival year. This is a year to get through, to do what's right, to go back to our foundations, the tasks that we need to do, which is building relationships, keeping in contact with our clients, making sure our database is up to date, sending thank you cards, personal phone calls, even a text message, a voice note.
Kate, I was just going to say, this is a survival year for the short-term visionary, for the right now. This is the biggest build year for your long-term business.
Absolutely it is.
What you do, how you act in this market is going to determine the success or failure of the next 3 to 5.
I believe that.
Because people will always remember what you did for them when they needed you most.
Absolutely.
People will always remember that they never called you, but you called them to check in.
Yep.
Who called you, client? Who called you? I called you.
That's right.
You don't need to remind them ever. People will always remember the people who care. I can speak for myself that I absolutely care about my clients' well-being. It is them who I have served that have served my interests as well.
Absolutely.
When I speak to my clients, I actually say these things. I actually, like, people are like, oh, you don't need to say, I do need to say thank you. Every
Yes.
time I go to a client that has used me before, let's say, I close my sales meeting as, let's say, Kate Broddick is my client. Kate, in closing, I would like to remind you that I don't take me for granted, and I don't take you for granted. I would love the opportunity to earn your business or earn your business again. If you are to choose someone to represent you, I hope you choose me, because I will work the hardest for you and give you all of me to ensure that your mandate is met. I say that in a good market, but I especially say that now.
And I love that because you use the word I want to earn your business because you are earning it. There's no self-righteous or entitlement there whatsoever. It's what do I have to do to make you happy so that you keep coming back.
100% that is the foundation of it.
Yeah.
The other thing is, once you've reached, and this goes maybe to the people 10 years in the business plus, once you reach a certain level of success, it's funny that clients say to you, sorry to bother you. And that and
Yes.
it's a yes, it feels good to be recognized as a leader or somebody, but that also tells me that in the back of your head you think I'm unapproachable.
Mm.
In my mind.
Yeah, no, I
So
see where you're
so
going with this.
so it is very important. So if it's these people who built my business, these are the people, these are my clients, these are my OGs.
Yeah.
But 8 years later, I didn't want to bother you. Is there somebody else I can? No.
Yeah, you're not bothering me.
Are you, like, since when? So it is very important, especially in a time where we want to go back and genuinely give back to the community, that we remind the people we're giving back to that nothing's changed in here.
Absolutely.
So genuinely, if you are doing something, please allow me to perform, but also remember that I am not too busy. I am
Absolutely.
not anything. Yes, you may need to schedule an appointment to see me for 2 hours.
Yes.
However, you're going to book that, and that'll be our time dedicated and focused,
Yes.
which is why I don't want to speak to you right now for 10 minutes wishy-washy.
That's
I
right.
want to give you all of me.
That's right.
So these are the techniques I'm using.
And I love that. And actually, just to fall in line with that, I just did a campaign for my greatest clients, the ones who call me to see how my kids are doing, the ones who show up to our events, the ones who have the referral antennas out all the time, genuine connections. And that's not to say I don't
Those
have
are
them with
raving
all my.
fans.
Oh,
Those
absolutely.
are
And
raving
as
fans.
Ravi Singh calls them, you're mavens.
100%.
I just did a campaign that
Ravi Singh's brilliant.
and wonderful person. And we just had him on my podcast. And one of the things that I took from that, and I immediately implemented it when I left my Norfolk office, is I had cards made up that said, I want you to fall back in love with real estate. And I sent every single one of them a thank you for their loyalty, a thank you for their commitment to me and my team. And I sent them a $10 Starbucks card because I love pumpkin spice lattes and it's the fall. It did not ask them for their business. It did not ask them for referrals. It was a pure thank you for being with me for 10 plus years.
And people appreciate it.
And of course they do. And it's something so small, but it means the world to them to be acknowledged without anyone coming in and asking like, "Oh, you're looking to buy or sell?" Like that's starting to get tacky.
Just like when you receive a $10 gift card,
Yep.
you don't need the $10. Nobody
No.
needs the $10,
No.
but it feels nice for somebody to be like, huh, you took the time
Yep.
to write me a note,
Yep.
to send me a card. It feels good.
Does feel good. It's just small token of appreciation for years and years of service.
I love that. I just had an experience where actually the realtor community rallied behind me back in early fall in October. I had my fundraiser for the Royal LePage Shelter Foundation, and I received gifts and monetary contributions and the coolest things, because I'm doing a trek for it, and they send me like wind wind resistance, like these
Is
things that go over top of your
protect your
face, gloves, packs, little hacks, and it's all people who I've never met. But these people thought like what I was doing for the community. Obviously, I'm doing it because I generally have an interest in women or abused women having a place to go. Like
Yeah.
I have a daughter, I have a wife, and when my mother was around, may she rest in peace. Like I have a mother.
Yep.
Like it can happen anytime, anywhere to anyone, and I value that. Like that's one of my things. But other people saw that and said they thought to themselves, "Look what he's doing," and they send me gifts and words of encouragement. And all I'm saying is it felt so nice.
And you deserved it.
But it felt so nice. So if you, Kate, take the time to write out 50, 100, thank you. I just want you to fall in love with real estate again. And you don't ask for anything. People feel nice.
They do feel nice.
And this is how you cultivate your brand and your image to when things come up the cycle again. They're going to remember who made them feel nice. They're going to remember who was there to pick up food donations for the food drive.
That's right.
I think there's a reason you're winning. And this is what I want to bring out today and share. I want this to be the message that you bring to our brothers and sisters across the country.
And I hope realtors take it upon themselves to do something in their community. Make it a passion project. Out of the cold, collecting winter jackets for kids, that's a passion project. I have 3 little boys. Collecting food for people who are less fortunate. When you're driving past the food bank every day and see the lineups around, if you don't have empathy for that, are you really human? So make it a passion project. Do something you love. Find something in your community that you can contribute to because it matters, because you care, and it will be so much easier to execute.
Maybe it's a time to audit your brand and what you actually stand for too.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Absolutely. Because, once again, we're blessed to be in this business. It's not always going to be a smooth ride. And actually the opportunity arises in the most difficult times. And it's the true leaders that step up and they perform.
100%. Some insight, because you brought up winter jackets and clothing. You have 3 boys. I have a daughter and a son. What I've noticed, my daughter turns 11 in the next few weeks. My son turned 8 in June. And what I've noticed is that every single year, every single piece of clothing we've ever bought them goes to a box every single year. All the things have to rotate because they outgrow them.
Yep.
As a single man 15 years ago, I never thought that this existed because I didn't have kids. I just never thought.
Yep.
What does a family do with kids? A family spends a couple $1,000s a year outfitting clothes, sports clothes, all the clothes, the coats, the
shoes,
the shoes,
the boots,
the boots. Every year, a new pair. I have the same boots for 12 years because I bought one pair of boots. They were $200. I bought the good ones.
Yeah.
And
you didn't need anything else.
And I never will because I wear them for 30 days on slushy days.
Yeah.
My kids need 2, one for indoor, one for outdoor, one for this. And
they're growing
every year.
Yeah.
So the reason I'm saying this is not because I discovered a phenomenon. I just didn't have kids and now I do. I'm saying this because when inflation, food prices, gas prices, and employment has been compromised, and we have the problem that you've noticed with people around food banks around the corner, if they're looking for food, I can assure you they didn't buy a new winter coat.
No, they didn't.
So these are some ideas that you can bring into your practice today.
Yes.
Like after this podcast, maybe call a few of your team members, a few of the people that sit beside you at the office. If you're solo, if you're in a team, bring this to your team meeting. Or say, hey, should we be looking at the next time we go on Saturday to advertise our open house, why don't we print something and ask? Because I know every single thing from, well, we don't keep anything in boxes anymore. Now it goes straight, like we found out all the things, and anything that doesn't fit them with no prospect, like anything at the end of this summer is not surviving next year.
No,
Period.
it's not.
So it's gone.
Yeah.
So we don't give them to friends.
No.
Our friends are very blessed too.
Yeah.
They go directly to places such as women's shelters where they can't even afford to go to Goodwill.
Yeah.
Because that even costs money.
That's right.
Not to say that Goodwill's not a great cause. Bless, give to Goodwill, give to Salvation Army. But if you can put it into the hands of those direct, if you do have that ability, please do.
And another great thing you can do in your community is I have 5 schools within directly 5 minutes of me. You can call the schools up and say, I'm looking to donate to some of the kids who are less fortunate. They're, of course, for privacy reasons, and you don't need to know, and nor should you want to know. Do you know families that are in need in within your school? And they will actually give you a list of their sizes, and you can drop it off at the schools as long as it's been cleaned and it's been okayed by the parents.
Or new.
Yeah, or new. And once again, like, I mean, how many people, like my mom and my kids' grandparents spoil my kids.
Yes.
Because they do. And I've got stuff that never makes it without the tag.
Correct.
Give it to people who are less fortunate.
Yes.
Directly in your community. They're in the schools, they're in your church, they're in the grocery store that you shop at. It's not hard to find these people. They're everywhere right now.
Well, and you don't need to find them. So it's exactly what you just said, whether it's privacy or whether should you. If it has anything with making anybody feel less than, I want nothing to do with it.
That's right.
I'm doing it for the right, again, do it for whatever reason, even if it's selfish, do it. But if it's not selfish, which mine is not selfish, I like giving because it makes me feel great.
Yes.
It gives me pleasure to see somebody smile, and it's because of my efforts. It gives me all the feels. Maybe that is selfish. I don't know.
No, it's not.
Regardless, what I'm getting at is if you go to any child protection agency,
Yes.
if you go to any school, if you go to any food bank, the food bank knows who needs the clothes too.
1,000%. Same people that line up every
Trust
day.
me. Trust me. So really think about philanthropy, about humanity, and how you can layer that as a leadership pillar into your business.
I agree.
Miss Kate Broddick, that's what I wanted to get out of you today. I think we got it tenfold.
Yeah, and I love talking about it because I know you're passionate about it.
I'm very passionate about it. Tell me, share with me above and beyond this topic. I really think we brought this topic home.
Yeah.
I do believe there are going to be people who listen to this that are going to come off this podcast and make a difference.
Yes.
If you do something as a result of this, even if it's a thought, even if you inspired someone else, please give us the feedback. We'd love to feature your stories and share them. If you're doing it online, we're across all social media at brokersplaybook.com, at Kate.
Agent.Kate on Instagram.
At agent.Kate. Please tag, please reach out. We're all extremely happy to support your socials and give as much as we can. Give me some closing words, Kate. Tell me something else. What are you doing over the holidays? What are you looking at accomplishing next year? What's your outlook? How are things going?
Well, outside of our community events with the food bank, with turkey drive out of the cold for jackets, our team events that we're having with Santa and face painting for the kids, we are looking to continue doing what we're doing, which is loving our clients, keep in contact with our clients, continuing our marketing strategies within our Brantford and Norfolk areas. And we are just, honestly, everyone thinks that they need to reinvent the wheel every single year. We are doing the exact same thing that we are doing consistently, and we're doing it together. And honestly, I think that 2024 is going to be a pivotal year, depending on what interest rates do and what the economy is doing. But instead of looking for reasons to say the market is doing this and the market is doing that, just keep moving forward. That's all we can do.
Keep servicing your clients.
That's right.
Market is up, market is down. Your clients need to buy, need to sell, need to invest, and they need their needs met. So let's talking about you, what you started with. 2 ears, one mouth. Make use of that.
That's right.
I love it. Kate Broddick, thank you for joining me on brokersplaybook.com. For everybody listening, Kate's socials will be below this video. All her info will be there for you to get in touch with her. Please share, subscribe to both Brokers Playbook and Kate. We're here to give as much as we can. Until next time, Kate, thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you then.